Welcome back to the Hephaestus Challenge right here on twitch.tv/The Robin Dan Show. I'm sitting down with Skrimskraw of the Glowwater Thralls, who I know most of all for having completely mispronounced and butchered his name so many times, despite him correcting me. Good afternoon, Skrim.
Hello.
Are you the leader of the Glowwater Thralls?
Yeah, I ended up being the leader, even though we wanted to not have a leader. But ended up
Now,
that way.
where did the Glowwater Thralls come from? How did they start out, and how did you end up getting in that position of leadership with them?
So I've been part of 3 clans. No, 4 clans now. Started out with King's Gambit January last year, and then we left that to make a competitive-minded team, where we were called Crows. Didn't work out, so we just changed to our team that we had in Crows that were called Carvers, and didn't work out for us with the old clan leader there and so on. So we decided to make something new because we had so many new members on our roster. So we just decided, okay, let's make an entire new team and make them feel part of part of something that they created together with us old guys.
And that's where the Glowwater Thralls first came from.
Yes.
Wow.
It was like a half a month after Graphic joined us, I think. So we basically had new pilots, new crew members, and we just thought that it would be a good idea.
Now you have Graphic Sturdy, you have a few other very dedicated individuals with the Glowwater Thralls. How did you end up coming into that position of leadership with them?
I guess it's always been me who's been organizing things, signing up, making sure people show up, and so on. So it's just they depend on me to do that, and I depend on them to actually want to play. Because if they didn't want to play, then I wouldn't be doing this for them.
It happened quite naturally.
Yeah.
Now, Glowwater Thralls right now is one of the best teams in the Guns of Icarus community when it comes to competitive play. One of the strongest, most consistent teams. How did you guys get to the point you're at right now when it comes to competitive play? Is there something specific you've done, or is there many things that you think have contributed to that?
I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. The first thing being that we had some veterans from January last year who's always been with us. Grey Knight and Metzalel and me have always played together. And we had our ass handed to us the entire February, March, April, May, June, and then sometime in July we actually started to understand the game and how we had to play at competitive level, and then we just went on from there.
And that's May, June, July of last year that we were talking about this year. We haven't hit July yet, right?
Yeah, last year.
Okay.
And when we made Glowwater Thralls, I had to find a new pilot to pilot with. And Graphic Sturdy, this new guy who just joined us, said, "Hey, I'll pilot." And we were a little bit skeptical, but we said, "Okay, let's do this." And I asked him, "What do you want to fly?" And he said, "I want to fly a Spire." And I was very skeptical about it, and I had no idea if it would work, but we did it, and we stuck with that for 1 month at least, just purely Spire, and started seeing progression and the opportunities in it. This was around where Wolfpack was dominating with the 2 Pyramidians, and we started seeing potential in it. And I think that pulling out the Spire as the jack of all trades in our selection was what helped us starting to use different tactics than just going straight in and fighting. Because we had to keep the Spire somewhat invisible for the enemy so we could flank and so on.
Now, pausing there for just a second in your story, why the Spire? Like, Glowwater Thralls, specifically Graphic Sturdy, very well known for pushing the Spire and making it do unimaginable things. Why? Why the Spire?
So the Spire had its first introduction in competitive play, I think, was with Polaris a long time ago. The Russian clan, they did double spire. So I guess Krefeld got kind of inspired by that pun. No, but so we just went with it, and at the time it had the most efficient damage output of all ships, if you can pull it off, which I think now is the Mobula, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we just thought it can deal a lot of damage if we can keep the enemy away from it. And also the vertical movement is fairly okay.
Well, there we go. I still don't like flying on it myself, but you guys make that thing dance. So much better on you.
It's something you learn when you're crewing for us.
Mm-hmm. Now, getting back to your story of telling where the thralls came from, moving into the November-December season when there was a bit of a drought going on, what were the Glowwater thralls doing? Were you guys trying to look ahead and preparing for future matches, or was that kind of a drought for you as well?
I don't think it's a secret that we didn't play as much back then, and. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we had a bit of a downtime there, but we held on because we wanted it to work. But yeah, that was definitely a time where we didn't put too much effort in it, as we usually did.
How did you recover from that, getting back into the new challenges and the new events going on that we had in 2014 starting up? How'd you guys recover from that?
You recruit people and train them.
Mm-hmm. Very simply?
Yes. Because some people will stop playing, and you just have to replace them and say thanks for all the time that you've given our team. But we need to look forward. So
there you go. First week in the Hephaestus challenge, you guys took on the Clamor. You 5-3'd them. Having seen the recent performance, how much of a challenge were they to deal with in that first match of Hephaestus?
So our tactics are based against teams that are very stationary and somewhat sniping. Mm-hmm. That means when we meet two brawling pyramidians, we can't split up because they'll just go for one of us. And then Fiasco just said there's no tactics in double pyramidian versus double pyramidian, so we just had to go in and out damage them. So that's what we did, because we tried to flank them twice, I think, and it went horribly, and then we just decided we can possibly focus down one of them faster than they can focus down us. And that worked.
That was a very, very intense matchup. And for some reason, I feel like Clamor isn't doing quite as well, especially considering some of the mistakes that happened against Muse. That was week 3, I do believe. Yes, that was week 3. They felt like much better opponents then, and I do believe they have the potential to do that once again. Point being, next week you went up against the Muse team, 5-2 them. I thought you guys felt pretty comfortable during that match.
Yeah, it was Nid and Fiasco flying, and I was crewing for Fiasco, if I remember. And we saw the galleon, and we just knew, okay, we're probably gonna get die a few times, but we just need to keep the galleon down and just keep killing the enemy pyramidian. So that's what happened. There was a lot of lag on both sides in that game. I talked with GwTh's afterwards. He couldn't. His gunners couldn't shoot and so on, and neither could ours, so it was a bit weird.
Was that on an American server?
Yeah, that was before the new netcode was introduced.
Okay. Week 3, you got an auto decision over the Mad Hatters who couldn't make it that week. Yeah. And then bye week last week. This week, you're going up against Sacrilege, a team who right now is 2-1. They need a win this week to keep their Gold League hopes alive. How do you prepare against a pretty darn good team in Sacrilege?
I think what Sacrilege is doing is they already know what we're going to bring. somewhat. They know that we're going to try and flank, so we have to think about something different than that actually, and try something maybe new. I won't say much what we're preparing, but we prepare usually 2 hours before events start, so we can always make a last-minute decision. But I won't go into details what we're going to bring tonight.
We'll wait until the actual match to see exactly what's going on with that.
Yeah,
now,
everything can change in a lobby.
Absolutely. Looking ahead to the coming weeks, you have to deal with Deadpool's army next week. Then you have to go up against, where are you? Overwatch, a very solid Overwatch team that's had some stumbling points. And then in the last week, you have a very strong matchup in the Riders. How are you guys looking towards the latter half of the Hephaestus Challenge, and how do you feel you're going to have to deal with these different teams?
It's going to be a lot of chaos in that team since some people are going on vacation and we have to deal with that. So, but I think Overwatch is probably going to be a hardest match because we practice with them every Saturday. So they will know what we're going to do.
Knowing in a very general sense who you're going to have to fly against in that matchup, what do you fear the most from them?
From Overwatch?
Yes.
Possibly playing on dunes.
Playing on dunes. One thing we've seen develop during the Hephaestus Challenge, specifically from Yggdrasil of Overwatch, is the carrot build. Considering you guys do fly spires every so often, is that a major fear for you?
Oh yeah. I'm not going to bring Spire versus that.
That's a no-go situation for you?
Yes.
And why do you think that's so strong?
Because you only need in theory, you only need a little bit hot strip to kill a Spire. You can even ram it to death with 2 rams with Moonshine. So if you break its balloon, it's not going to move anywhere.
Running out of time here. Any closing thoughts for the Hephaestus Challenge, where you see it right now and what you're looking forward to?
It's going to be interesting to see, in the end, what teams have made progress as a team.
Well, thank you so much, Skrim. I know you're very busy today. It's going to be a very big day for you. Again, you have to take on the Sacrilege team. Tropo runs them very hard. He's a very good organizer when it comes to getting a team together and ready to go. Good luck to you. I hope you do very well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Skrim. That's Skrimskraw of the Glowwater Thralls. We'll be right back with more coverage of the Hephaestus Challenge right here on twitch.tv/The Robin Dan Show.